I traveled the banks of the river of Jordan to find where it flows to the sea. I looked in the eyes of the cold and the hungry, and I saw I was looking at me.
I wanted to know if life had a purpose and what it all means in the end.
In the silence I listened to voices inside me, and they told me again and again.
There is only one river, there is only one sea, and it flows through you, and it flows through me. There is only one people, we are one and the same. We are all one spirit, we are all one name. We are the Father, Mother, daughter, and son. From the dawn of creation, we are one. We are one. We are one. Every blade of grass on the mountain,
Every drop in the sea,
oh, every cry of a newborn baby,
every prayer to be free.
Every hope at the end of the rainbow, every song ever sung
is a part of the family of woman and man. That means everyone. We are only one river, we are only one sea, and it flows through you, and it flows through me. We are only one people, we are one and the same. We are all one spirit, we are all one name. We are the Father, Mother, daughter, and son. But from the dawn of creation, we are one. We are one. We are one. We are one.
Hi, welcome to the Loving Meadow. My name is Reverend Lynn. This is show 858, and it's about how to see God. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed the show, and don't forget to check me out on YouTube under Loving Light Hour or Lynn Leonardson, and we'll put this show up and publish that number of shows up there on YouTube, and on Instagram, we got Bubba Lynn Pixies, BABLINPIXIES at Instagram.com, and there we have a blog running, some pictures and stuff of my wife and myself, and bunch of writings, a lot of which Len and I have been doing. So you can go ahead and do this. So it's Bubba Lynn Pixies at Instagram.com. Yeah, you see different shows and that you've seen before. We're writing them up and putting them on Instagram. And we have a center that's forming, and if you'd like to come stay with us and do some meditation, let me know. We get some rooms you can come and stay in. We charge for the meditation, just for the rooms, the room and board. I mean, if there's food involved and something like that, just bring your own food. But do some meditation courses on how to meditate, and maybe spend some time looking into your life, contemplating, checking out, kind of getting an assessment of where you are and where you've been and where you're going. We call it the crossroads, and it's coming to a place where, there's change in your life coming, and you want to know which road to take. You're at the crossroads. You take the fork in the road. It's not uncommon. Everybody gets there. You get to that place where there's a choice of where to go, and it's what we do. We kind of look into that and see how your spirit's guiding you, how your soul is guiding you. And the soul's always talking to us. It's always there, guiding us. God is always talking to us, always guiding us. Saying go left, go right, wait, don't move, stay still, stay asleep, get up. It's there. And then there's a crazy person in your head that's always talking to you too. The whole of life is the discernment between the two, between that crazy person that you've created, that's been created around you or through you, that your ego self, whatever it is, the false self, and the fake self. And then there's the authentic, the real self, which is the one that follows God, the one that channels God, the one that is God. That's the one that we're trying to tune into. And that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about tuning into that way of seeing, to tuning into that aspect of ourselves, that ability to be in touch with that objective self, that the one that sees things objectively, sees the bigger picture, understands the past, the present, and the future, sees it all in one thing, one moment. It's that's the one we're trying to tap into. And we say, you come out of the daze, walk around in the daze, in a hypnotic trance. And because we're living in the past or projecting what's going to come in fear of the past, in fear of the future, regretful of the past, or reliving it, reacting. We're reacting. So you say somebody that's a reactive person is living a lot in the past. They're reacting. They're seeing something happening now, and we're not aware of that which is happening now. That person, this place, this situation is triggering other events, other people in the past who have had a similar, mostly negative effect on us. So that we're reacting, and we have anger, we have fear, we have whatever emotion, negative emotion is coming up. It's all based on the past. It's all based on having experienced that, and so that's how we live in the past. How we don't live in the present. We don't live with an innocent mind. We live with a mind that has knowledge of the past and is constantly sorting out and assessing what, based on the past, what's going on or what's going to go on, what's going to happen in the future. So we're taking the past and we're assessing what happened in the past and then doing a projection of, because of what happened in the past, this is what's going to happen in the future. And there might be some people that might actually defend that way of life, that's being frugal and making plans and preparing oneself for what the future. And to some extent, of course, we make plans and stuff like that. It's the day-to-day experience of the conscious and that's being conscious and aware. So you're conscious and aware of what plans you might make, what goals you might set for yourself. Or how you see yourself coming in, or what fears you have. That being consciously aware of that changes it from just a program, a pattern playing itself out, just a tape running, just a little movie running that when it gets to the end it stops and it will loop itself. If you let it loop, it'll just keep playing and playing. Or it's something where we see this has the potential, but that's not here and now. Here and now, there's also this potential. There's also this could happen. Or we don't know what's going to happen, how it's going to happen. All we know is what's in the present, and we can deal with the present and be here and now, where we can be in the present moment and change our gaze. We come out of our daze and we change the way that we look at something. You know, and when we see ourselves, or when we feel ourselves, or when we experience ourselves, looking at something as if, with judgmental. The exercise then is to reframe it, change it. Change it. If, for instance, I have my truck has a dent on the side. You know, yeah. And if I look at the truck and I see the dent, then I say, "Oh, well, it's not. It's a bad truck because it has a dent in it." I feel bad. It's not a really nice looking truck in that way because it's got a dent in it. And then the criticalness, I should fix it up, and I'm not taking care of the truck well enough because I should pay the money to have the dent fixed, and then I'm not a good provider. And you can see where that track goes when you're seeing something with that negativity and that judgmental, and sometimes it is actually justifiable. You might even say that. And again, it's not in the present moment. You can say, "Oh, my truck has a dent. I should fix that. It would look a lot nicer, and I would feel better about it," and let it go. And say, "Okay," and either make a plan to do that, or say, "Okay, well, that's something for the future, and I'm probably not going to fix that then, and that's okay too. Yeah, but we'll make that okay. Yeah, we can't do that with everything, but a lot of things you can do that. You can say, because if I look at the rest of the truck, it's really a nice truck. Aren't I lucky to have a truck? One that's paid off, one that I don't owe any money on. Wow, and it's okay. It has some character in it. It's been well used, or it's been used. You can see where, and we always say, we don't want our affirmations to become denials, because there's a very thin line between an affirmation and denial. It can be, but for the most part, these type of affirmations are fact-based. They're not fake affirmations. They're fact-based. It is a good truck. I am lucky to have a truck. I am lucky to have one that's paid off, And the dent, I feel bad about the dent, but it's okay. I don't mind it. So then I change my gaze, and I see good in it. There's some good in it, instead of just focusing on that negative part. And I mean, this has been the whole New Age movement, the whole spiritual path, and the whole think and grow rich, and all of this stuff is about having this positive outlook, being able to take something and make it positive. It's just that in Vipassana, we always temper all of that with a good dose, a swig of reality. It's saying, I can walk around saying I'm very rich, and I'm very rich, and I have lots of money, and I don't. So I can walk around and say that, or I can reframe that, and say I have a potential. I'm very rich in I'm rich in my view of life. I'm rich in the abundance of where I live. I mean, I'm rich in live in Hawaii. I have a nice house. We have cars. I have a family. I have there's friends and students and people around me, and so anyway, I'm very rich. Again, we change the focus, but not make it into a fake focus. That is another way of thinking about it. Richness and wealth is not just about money. It's about what else you have. It's about what are the things in your life that that fill your life in. And one is an empty life. Is one of selfishness, in that I may even have a lot of stuff, and I may be very rich as far as having lots of money and lots of stuff, but I'm not wealthy, and I don't feel rich. I don't feel the happiness that we project that will give you. That's missing, and that's that's sad, because then I feel doubly bad, because I have the money and I have the wealth and I have all the things, but it's not making me happy. So what is it then? You say, well, I have to have a relationship. Well, if I have the relationship and I have the money and I have the stuff, and I'm in a lucky place, why do I still feel this way? Yeah. And the answer is because this is the human condition where we're missing something. There's an ingredient that we're missing that the world can't give us. Yeah. There is nothing in the world. There is no thing in the world that will fill us in for what we're missing. And we're missing God. And it's like, it's like not having your mother as a child. There's nothing, there's nobody that's going to fill that in to that biological degree. There may be substitutes and stuff like that, but there's nothing that will fill that in. It's just that, that's why our whole life is dedicated to the direct experience of God. It is dedicated to studying ourselves and knowing ourselves so that we understand what it is that we're identified with that is keeping our gaze, our sight, our feelings, our knowing from knowing God, from seeing God. And when we look at things, and we say, you can see God in everything. You can. You can see God in everything. You can see God in everyone. Or not. Or you can see something wrong with everyone and everything. And somewhere in the middle is where we, as Vipassana, we say that I see negativity in the world. I see negativity in this person. I see this this president or this person. I see the negativity about them, and I also see their soul. I see into their soul. And I see the way Jesus looks from down at the cross, as the story goes, as he looks down as they're sticking the spear, so to speak, it's the spear in his side, and they say, forgive, and he says, forgive them, Lord, they know not what they do. So this is a pretty compassionate person, right? Somebody's sticking a spear, and you're asking God to forgive them, because they don't realize the suffering, not the suffering that they're creating to an innocent, but the suffering that they're creating for themselves. I mean, they're creating lifetimes of endless suffering, because that's a karmic act that requires similar responses. One has to understand what one's doing. And when you really see that, when you look at somebody, I mean, you may not be able to do it from Jesus' point of view, as somebody is, sticking a knife in you, but you can understand as an observer. You can understand of how horrible it is for the victim, and then you might change your gaze, and you can look and see the perpetrator, and you can say, They don't understand what they're doing. You can feel some compassion for them, not more than the victim, but almost equal compassion. You can feel compassion for the fact that they don't understand that the ball that they're sending down this hill that's non-stoppable, this karmic ball, where this act will produce lifetimes of suffering. Not only for them and for the person they do it to, but also for them. It's lifetimes of suffering. Endless, almost endless suffering. This particular thing, taking somebody's life, or this whole stuff that's coming out with the sexual abuse, and the karmic repercussions for this is it's endless. You you understand that the victim is got a chance to come out with this thing and to try to release this thing, and we know it's never going to heal them. But where's the good in this? Where's the God in this? Where's the God in this person that's done this? And you have to look, and you have to look with compassion. You understand, that maybe these two have had something that's been gone on before. That maybe it's been other lifetimes, and they're coming in and they're doing the tit for tat thing. Who knows? Certainly that doesn't justify any of it. I mean, it doesn't justify what they've done. But I know with myself and my abuser, I had somebody help me, a friend of mine, somebody was living with me, and they gave me a past life reading, and without knowing the person, said that there's somebody that I had abused, many lifetimes ago, that I had done this abuse. And we've been kind of doing this back and forth for lifetimes. And I got it. It really rang true. Even if it isn't true, it really was a different view, a different way to look at it. I could see the good in it. I could see the God in it. I could see the karmic energy that was floating by here. It didn't heal the whole. All it did was it took away the indignant justification, the outrageous thing that this should be done to me. Instead of understanding, oh, I see. So if I can forgive this person, and I can say it ends with this lifetime, okay, we're even. We're even because I understand that I started it. I started it 1,000 lifetimes ago, whatever it was. I started. So we're done. I forgive you. We don't have to do this again. Next time, you're gone now. When I come in, we do this next time, we won't do this. Because I forgive you. And it took a lifetime to do that. I mean, that's how it takes. Sometimes it takes a lifetime. But we practice in the moment. We practice with our little awakenings. And we practice. We don't have to practice with the big things. We don't have to practice with an abuser or something like that. We can just practice. We catch ourselves judging, and judging things and judging people. And we say, okay, here's my exercise. I have a neighbor that I have to deal with, and he hasn't been nice to me. I'm sure he thinks I've been nice to him. That's why he's not nice to me. Everybody's justified, right? I mean, you don't really go around doing this stuff. Mostly everybody is justified, unless you're just pure evil. He's not pure evil. But certainly I have to practice this. I have to, or be a complete hypocrite. I mean, instead of just a little bit of a hypocrite like I am, I could be a complete hypocrite and say, and judge him because I don't like him. and instead I see the good in that. The good in that him not being nice to me is the good in it is my reaction to it, not my reacting. So I take it and change it into say, okay, I don't like such and such because of what he's doing, but why is so much energy behind it? Why is there so much dislike? I mean, he is what he is, blah, blah, blah. I understand this, And is he at all like me? Oh, no, I'm not like that at all, you say. And you're looking and say, you're not like that? Why are you reacting so much to it, Because that's the law. If you're really reacting to somebody, if you're really having an angry, hateful, resentful, which makes us all look at our current precedent. Why do we hate him so much? I love him so much. I don't know. It's because there we are. There's the part of you that you dislike. It's right up there on the screen for you to figure out what do you do. How do you see the good in this? The good in this is how can I use this to work on myself? And what does that mean? How do I work on myself? How can I accept this? How can I accept him and not, at the same time, be a phony? I mean, it's not fake acceptance, not try to be a high being as, oh, I accept him because that's what I'm supposed to do, but really accept him. How do I put it into terminology, day-to-day living, stuff that isn't, bull, and isn't just, spiritual high being stuff. How do I do that? I say, well, I am kind of like him, kind of an alpha dog, and kind of dominating force, so I can see that. And it looks a lot like my father. In fact, he acts a lot like my father. And my reaction to him is a lot like my reaction to my father. So, I wonder if he's here for me to find something to forgive or to deal with my father. Because that's what happens, we grow up as children and we get abused, because it's really hard to bring up children without abusing them one form or another, to one degree, more or less is what we say, Everybody gets abused as a child. And as parents, we abuse our children more or less, Some people who are really good parents, less, very less. Other people who aren't so good parents, more. But there's a continuum, You can put yourself any place on that continuum, but you'll fit somewhere, more or less. And so I have to look at that and say, well, how am I like him, more or less? And I say, you can see a lot of things in there. So, and I guess I don't like that about myself, so I don't forgive myself. So that's that, seeing the good in that. Why was I like that? So, well, I learned it. I was taught it by the people and the men and stuff like that I hung out with in my neighborhood and stuff like that. So you're programmed. So then the next thing we say that this is not me. So I use this as an opportunity to say that these are tapes, programs that are running in me, that are always there, that I disempowered, I discharged, because they're electromagnetic charges. There are electrical charges that are put in when you get, say, like all your memories and all the things and all your experiences of the past are, they're shocks. They're shock waves. The words are shocks. They're the sights are shocks, and they make imprints. The visual imprints, audio imprints, and feeling imprints, and they're our hard drive, our computer, our brain, the main computer, receives all of these impressions and stores them. Stores everything. And we lock some of these away and put codes on them, and we throw the codes away and we forget what the passwords are. Basically, that's the way it is. We forgot. We even forgot that we have files, on this person and stuff like that. And sometimes somebody will come by and will, it'll be like they'll activate the file. I'll say, well, what's this? Why do I have this person in my life? That's the only question. If somebody comes into your life, whether it's on the big screen or whether it's in your home or whether it's passing by or in a restaurant or in a store. But if somebody comes by and you get an emotional reaction from that, you have a response, an ego response. The God response to that, how to see God in that, is to say, oh, this soul, thank you, is here to for me to look at something in my past. What is I? It doesn't look like my father. It doesn't look like my mother. It doesn't have to look like your mother or your father. Anybody in a position of authority or anybody that vaguely resembles them or has any kind of a position that might put them in that you aren't straight about the fact that you're not clear about the fact of this experience happened. In fact, you weren't even aware of this experience happened. All you knew is that when you get around certain people, you wanted to run away, you wanted to eat, you wanted to drink, smoke, do something. And maybe you didn't like powerful men, maybe you didn't like powerful women, maybe what? Don't like powerful women? But what's wrong with you? Of course you do. We all like powerful women. They're hip to our tricks. We don't like, it's a Joni Mitchell song, you don't like weak women because you get bored too quick. You don't like strong women because they're hip to your tricks. And we get in our relationships. Yeah, we live out our relationship with our mother. That's what we do, and our fathers. We live out these things, and instead, and when we're fighting, when we're in that, how do we see God in this? We see God in this as this soul, because we learn to see souls instead of seeing husband and wife. We see soul instead of seeing child. We see soul. You know? I can actually remember the day when Crystal she was going through a dark side between 13 and 16. In case you haven't got there yet, it's coming. And I totally, felt totally betrayed and frustrated because, my parents were jerks, and of course I rebelled against them because they weren't hip. They didn't know anything. They were old thinking, and I was cool and hip and taught her everything and gave her the truth, the truth and all this stuff. And why would she rebel against me? I mean, that's not fair. I didn't do that. I was good. I taught her meditation. I taught her the truth. I didn't teach her these lies that we were taught. And then I looked and I said, oh, wait a minute. I'm projecting daughter onto her. This is a soul. She's back again, trying to learn love, trying to learn truth, trying to know herself. Probably has done this endlessly, like me, and like you, has been doing this forever, and is back again. Of course she is. What else is it? And I just happen to be, we're playing, I don't know what we played before. We probably have been in each other's lives many times. And I'm playing father. Now, I'm the guide. I'm the father guide. I'm the spirit guide. That's apparently what she asked for. It's apparently what I asked for, because that's what happened. So I was guiding her on her spiritual path, her life path. And I was there as her protector and guide, and kind of protected her through this, safely into this place. And then I let her go because she had to do it herself, and she had to figure out. But that moment of seeing her as a soul, there's a big weight lifted off my shoulder. And a big weight lifted off her shoulder. I didn't even tell her. It wasn't something that I told her. It was like, I said, I have to let her go. I have to let her experience all this stuff, because that's what she's here to do. She's here to experience it. She's here to come in and see what life is about and what she's about and who she is and what she is, and to know herself. Because if she can know herself, if we can know ourselves, then we'll know that we're God. And once we know that we're God, we'll know that we're not all this other stuff that we think we are. And we're free. We're free of all this, all these regrets, all these abuses that have happened to us. Endless lifetimes of abuse. Endless lifetimes of hurting others, of being hurt. Endless lifetimes. And all of it's being blocked because we don't know ourselves. All of it's being held in place. We're holding it all, we're keeping it, we're attached to it all. You think we're attached to this physical stuff, to ice cream and candy and sugar and drugs and heroin and all that stuff? We're not nearly attached to that stuff as we are attached to our suffering. We love our suffering. We love it. We deserve it. We did it. We have to suffer. We're back again. And suffering is the thing. And the more we suffer, the better, because we deserve it, because we did this and we did that. And none of this stuff is conscious. This is just kind of like what we know. We know that whatever it is we're here doing, whatever suffering we're into, we deserve it. And just as well leave the chains, like the Ghost Molly says, best just leave the chains alone. I earned those chains, and I got to walk them through. And it's kind of how the karmic life is. And of course the goal is to free ourselves of that karma. We simply have to put it down. But we can't put it down. We can't put down the past until we recognize that we're holding the past. We can't stop reacting until we realize we're reacting, until we at least name it and see what it is. And you say, hey, I don't like that guy, that neighbor of mine. He's this and he's that, and because he did this, because he did that. And I said, wait a minute, I'm reacting. That means I'm projecting onto him. No, I'm not. He's a jerk. He's doing this. He's doing that. No, I'm projecting onto him. I'm projecting. What am I projecting? Well, the short answer is father. Okay, so you're projecting. I could be projecting mother. It really doesn't matter what sex. But, okay, I'm projecting father. Okay. Why would I be doing that? Just like my father. That's why. And what does that mean to you? Well, my father's inside of me. I took him on. Didn't have much choice. You don't have much choice, you know. I mean, you grow up in a family, mother and father, 24/7, is, you know, assuming you're there with them that long, for at least the first decade or so, and they're deeply imprinted on your brain. You know, their patterns, their ideas, their feelings, the way they act, the behavior, and to not be them, to not express them, to not be them, you have to have a real purpose. You know, some people come up with a real purpose and they don't. You know, they kind of slough it off. Man. They really are just coming in, you know, and being helped by guides. But for the most of us, it's you know, we're pretty much identified and attached to them, especially for the early years, and we take on everything that comes in. There's no filters. So we completely absorb their attitudes and their view of life, and as we grow up as teenagers, we rebel against that view of life, and perhaps we even get we keep our authentic self going, and that works pretty good until someplace in their life comes in and just slams you. Whether it's with your family or a job or whatever it is, it takes away the amount of time you need to contemplate and to stay aware of the fact that this is not you, that this is programming, that you're just kind of, these feelings, these thoughts, they're not your thoughts, they're not your feelings, they're just thoughts and feelings that have been programmed into your computer. And they're just playing through, and they get stimulated by phenomena. And it's just phenomena, reacting to phenomena. That's all that's going on. You know? There's none of it's you. And you say, well, what is me? So, that grasshopper. That grasshopper is that's the one. That's the question. What is you? And you know, and as the Buddha would say, there is no you. There is no you. There's only God. There is no me. There's only I. I as in God. And as we see this, we recognize this by saying, well, okay, I can't recognize this, but I sure do recognize that I'm not solid in the way of, there isn't just one me. I've got many sides to me. You know, there's really, really dumb me, and there's really, really smart me, and there's really, really open, loving me, and there's really, really mean, nasty me, and there's all of these different moods and all these different things we want to call. So I one thing I can look at, and just through experience here, we're fairly fragmented. In other words, whatever we believe as ourselves that is me is really, really complicated and not too together, not very cohesive. You know, we change our minds, we change our opinions, we change the way we feel, depending on our age, depending on what happens to us, whether we get sick, whether we make money, whether we're poor, whether we're rich. All of these different things, everything has an effect on us. And so this is the way we react. And when we wake up to this, that this is going on, then we start to try to get a mantra going, try to get a lodestar. You know? And one of the lodestars is looking for the good in things, looking for the good in people. You know, it works. I mean, it works. And it's a little bit naive. You can be naive. And of course, the goal is to be innocent, which is not stupid. Innocent isn't stupid. Innocent really is seeing beneath all the layers and all the complications and all the wisdom and the justification of why such and such is this, and why you react and why you have that. And it's penetrating and penetrating. and getting down to the place where you really do experience the fact, where you really do experience not enemy out there, but you experience soul. And soul coming, doing this life dance, and soul coming in, and you see suffering, and there you are hanging on the cross as Jesus, and saying, "Forgive them; they know not what they do. Forgive them, Lord. Forgive them." And you really do. You see it. You see it because it's the work you've done in your life, and you've been doing this all your life. It takes a lifetime to do it. It takes a lifetime. This is not something you get. Some people get it, but then you have to practice it, and you'll be strong with it sometimes, and then sometimes not. Maybe for years, sometimes it goes away. If you find something that's a lodestar, if you want to just like to take the foundations of Christianity, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. That's a lodestar. Hang on to that one. That's a good foundation of Christianity. Foundation of basically every religion. And that is the goodness of religions, is they do teach you moral conduct. You got to have moral conduct. If you don't have that, you can't have spiritual. You can't be spiritual. That's just bull. That's all. If you don't practice moral conduct, if you really think you can lie and cheat and steal your way through life, and some sort of delusion that you're some sort of superior or raising your consciousness, that's just delusion. There's no spiritual path. There's no consciousness raising without the practice, without practicing truth and love, without self-sacrifice. There's no shortcut. That's just delusional. That's all. That's why people take heroin as a shortcut. Here's a shortcut. Take you right to heaven. Oh, but it's only a day pass. And it's harder to get back there once you take the shortcut. So don't take the shortcut, because you can't stay there, and you probably will never get a chance to get back again. That's why we don't take heroin. That's why we don't do that, because of the it blocks it. That's why the drugs and everything. That's why we learned that LSD and stuff like that. Oh, it did. It woke us up. It might have even helped. I think it helped me. A lot of people I know, it kind of helped and woke them up. In fact, I don't really trust anybody that hasn't done it. but only in that it did. Shocked. It broke the reality of what's going on. This stuff isn't solid. Not just a theory anymore, but an actual physical experience of the fact that, oh wow, it really isn't. There really is just a bunch of molecules moving around, and that's pretty powerful. But that's it. You have to let it go after that one time. Maybe two, maybe three. Can't do much more than that. Or you are then you shut the pathways down. You start burning up little brain avenues and synapses and stuff like that start getting destroyed, and your brain doesn't allow you to get to the places where you can free yourself up and experience God. It'll shut you down. It'll burn up all the little fibers in the back of your head, going down your spine. It'll burn them up. All kinds of drugs will do that. Cigarettes will do it. Burn them up. You'll burn them up so that you can't use them later on. You can't use them after you spent a lifetime of working on yourself in meditation or whatever. And but during that time where you did it, you burned them up, and they're not there. So you don't get to do the full one this time. You get a partial because, well, you burned them up. And it's okay. You'll be back. You've been doing this forever. Forever. You've been doing it forever. Endless. And you did pretty good. You got here. And you help others. You build some good karma for yourself. Go on and help others. You realize, I'm wounded. I've done it to myself. I'm stuck. I'm not going to go any farther than this. It's okay. Help somebody else. Help others. There are other souls coming through, and you help them. You wake them up. and that builds that energy, so that we can get free of this nightmare. This is not a dream. This is a nightmare. It's only a dream for you, perhaps, right now, but you're dreaming within a nightmare. What's going on in this world is, and all you got to do is leave. You don't have to go very far. Actually, you can just go in the house next door. Who knows how far the hell world of the suffering that can be in any of these houses on the street. Who knows? And going into people's minds. Because we've lost God, we lost the oneness, and we live in dread of that feeling. And we have a collective agreement to fake it and say it's not true. That everything's okay and I'm fine and you're fine and we're all fine. No, we're not. We're not fine. We're not fine. We're lost in this delusion of this pleasure-pain syndrome, and we're stuck. And the only way out is in. The only way out is in. You have to go within. Experience yourself, know yourself, experience yourself as not a self. Experience the phenomena that we are, the breathing, the flowing, the electromagnetic interaction. Have the compassion and the empathy for others that breaks it down, that breaks down that barrier that we've set up. That we've created this ego, this force to keep out the suffering and to keep us in a pleasure. We think we're seeking pleasure. The lie is the lie of the advertising world, and something that you can find it. It's out there. The Shangri-La, the perfect person, the perfect energy, the perfect vacation, the perfect everything. It's a lie. It's a lie. You're not doing that. You're running away from suffering. We're not seeking pleasure. We're avoiding pain. We're not being entertained. We're in delusion. We're avoiding our suffering. We're not looking at the boredom. Boredom is the modern word for dread. We don't want to be bored. What's the matter with boredom? Because I'll be in touch with the emptiness, right? Be in touch with the emptiness. I don't like the emptiness. Why not? What's the matter with emptiness? It's dreadful. Yes, it's dreadful, isn't it? Being empty, being bored is dreadful. Why? Because it gets you in touch with the fact that you've lost connection with God. And that's dreadful. And we don't want to accept it. But once we do accept it, we get connected with God. It's kind of that's the dilemma. That's the horns of the dilemma that we're in. We have to accept that which is unacceptable. We have to accept the abyss, the emptiness of love. We want love to be full. We want love to be full of pleasure. We want love to feel good. And love does feel good, I'm sure. I mean, yes, I thought love feels good. But then there's the love of God. And it doesn't necessarily feel good to the ego. What one has to do to experience that love is not something that we even understand. All we know is that we dread it. We dread the loneliness. Except going into the loneliness is the path. We dread the emptiness. We run away from it. Except going into the emptiness is the path. We dread the lack of doing. Except that not doing is the path. The reason that we're so confused and the reason that we're so caught is because of everything we're doing. Once we stop doing, and we start being, and we start experiencing, what is it that's moving me to get up right now? To go to the bathroom. Suffering, I have to go to the bathrooms. What am I supposed to do? Don't get up and go to the bathroom. Just be aware that you're going to the bathroom and you're relieving, you're urinating or pooping or whatever it is. You're relieving suffering. It's not suffering. Oh yeah? Don't do it for a while. See what happens. So, see how angry you get after you don't pee and poop for a few days. But you're relieving suffering. What is it that, why am I getting up and drinking? Why am I smoking this cigarette? Oh, I like the taste. That's a lie. You don't like the taste. You tell yourself you like the taste. You knew at the beginning you didn't like the taste. You overrode that because it gave you a drug that numbed you, and you didn't have to feel the emptiness. You didn't have to feel the boredom. And so we go out and we go into entertainment. We get entertaining. And we want to be entertained. And we want to watch our movies and watch our TV and stuff like that. I'm not saying not to do any of these things. It's all we do is watch TV and movies and stuff like that. It's like, but there's some sort of an awareness in there. That's where the God comes in. That's where the good comes in. That's where seeing God comes in. Seeing God is that I'm doing this for entertainment. And what is it that I'm avoiding? And take a look at it. What am I avoiding? Say, oh, I'm avoiding the pain. I'm avoiding the suffering. I'm avoiding the emptiness, the loneliness. Okay. Nothing you can do. You're gonna do it anyways. You just become aware of it. We're aware of that. I'm attached. I'm attached to my dogs. I'm attached to my clothes, my car. I'm attached. We're aware of the attachment. And we're aware of the judgment of the attachment. And we're aware of how futile that is to be judging ourselves for being attached. It's like I'm attached to my body. I'm going to judge myself for being attached to my body. What do you expect? Of course we're attached to your body. It's everything you've got. Not really, but that's what you believe. We believe it's everything we've got is our body. That's basically all I can actually hold on to. Really, you can't, but that's our big one. That's our big attachment. It's our body. Right next to our views and our beliefs, those are pretty big too. And our image of what we want to see. But all of those can get stripped away. We're still really, really attached to this thing. This thing has to be ripped. We have to be ripped out of this one. Unfortunately, because of our views and our beliefs, we get, even after we get ripped out by death, we get the views and our views and our beliefs snap us back in again, because we're attached to them. We're attached to our fears. We're attached to our suffering. We're attached very much to it. We like it. We don't like it, but we like it. Not really, but we don't tell ourselves that. We tell ourselves we like it. We tell ourselves that we like the alcohol we drink and the cigarettes we smoke and the entertainment that we do. We tell ourselves we like it because if we didn't say that, that's the short answer, and that wipes it out. We don't have to deal with it. Because otherwise, say, well, why are we doing this? I said, well, because I was feeling bored. So why didn't you just sit there and feel bored? Why would I want to do that? I don't want to waste my life feeling bored. Well, it's not wasting your life. When you go into feeling bored, feel what else is underneath that. What's underneath feeling bored? What kind of fear? Fear of non-existence, fear of getting in touch with the loss, the deep loss of not being one with God. That's it. That's what gets us every time. That's what's running underneath it. That's why when you get everything you get, when you win the first place, and when you become the beauty queen or the king, or you become president, or you become that's why when you wash your teeth and look at yourself in the mirror, it's not enough. It's not enough. Something's missing. The missing links. The missing link. The missing link is God. And God is in everything. So the more we see God in everything, then the more we experience God, and the more we disidentify from the things, from the boredom, and from the dread. We let it be. We let it be that yes, there's this feeling inside of dread. And we breathe into it. We just breathe into it, that's all. And we let it be. And we see how long we can do that before we have to do something to obliterate the awareness of that feeling that we have inside. And that loneliness. And why is it that we're alone? Why are we so afraid of being alone? It's because we realize how much we're missing God. We're missing the joy, that oneness that we have. And we get some insights in life. We fall in love. We lose ourselves. We feel one with another person for a moment. And that reminds us. Our child is born. We feel one with the child, especially if you're the woman. You feel one with it. That reminds us of that complete loss of self, that loss of who we think we are. And we feel God. So the job, our work is, through self-knowledge and through practice, is to feel God, is to see God, to see good, to see God in everything and everyone. And that's our practice, that's our daily practice. And we say, how can I do this? How can I see God in this? And what's stopping me from seeing God in this person? What's stopping me from seeing God right now? Change your gaze. Change the way you look at things. Change the way you see things. Look at things differently. Look at people differently. Don't see a husband or a wife. See a soul. See a spirit that's locked in a body. Don't see anger on a person. See somebody suffering. And the reason they're suffering, and they're releasing their suffering. You say, oh, okay, this person's suffering. We practice giving out love. That's it. That helps us. We practice loving. And we give the love out. We find things to love. We find people to love. And we practice loving. Even in the face when people aren't loving us, that's the thing. That's why we work. It's to love when you're not being loved. That's hard. To love people that you don't love, that's hard. Love things you don't love. Without giving yourself away, without sacrificing your goodness and sacrificing your authentic self. But we give love out. And you get it first. We practice. We feel the energy coming out. Voila. See you next week.